Hey Labradors, today I'm going to read Rocks, Rocks, Rocks by Nancy Elizabeth Wallace. And some of my forest friends probably remember that we read Apples, 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 and Pumpkins, 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 I think. So it has the same cast of characters. Rocks, 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 written and illustrated by Nancy Elizabeth Wallace. One day after school, Buddy took 6 rocks out of his backpack. He carefully piled one on top of another. They wobbled, but didn't fall. "Look," he said to Mama. "That looks like a pile of rocks that marks a trail," said Mama. "Would you like to go on a rock walk at the Nature Center?" "Yes," said Buddy. "I like rocks." They drove to the Nature Center. The sky was filled with billowy clouds. The air smelled of pine trees. "Rock," shouted Buddy. "The Blue Diamond Trail," said Mama. Here are all the trails, and they're going to go on the Blue Diamond Trail because it is the rock trail. They studied the trail map. Buddy counted 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rock stops. Then they followed the Blue Diamond Trail. "Look," said Buddy, "there's a pile of rocks like the one I made. This way." Did you know there are more than 100 kinds of rocks? "Rock stop 1, said Mama. "Bedrock." Buddy ran his hand over the smooth rock. "Bedrock? What's bedrock?" "Bedrock is the Earth's rock crust," said Mama. "Mountains are rock. Rock is under cities and farms, under valleys and forests, under lakes, under the ocean, and under our house?" asked Buddy. "Yes," said Mama. "Bedrock is everywhere. The Earth is a ball of rock." "Mama?" "Yes, Bud?" "What did the pebbles sleep on?" "What?" "Bedrock." Mama laughed. Then they followed the Blue Diamond Trail. "Rock stop 2, said Buddy. "Big rocks, smaller rocks, and pebbles?" "Erosion," said Mama. "Erosion," said Buddy. "What's that?" Mama explained. "Erosion means that over time, mountains, boulders, even pebbles weather and wear away. They get smaller and," Buddy chimed in, "smaller and smaller." He thought for a minute. "How small?" "As small as sand and dirt. Sand and dirt are partly made of teeny tiny pieces of rock." Did you know there are many kinds of sand and dirt because there are different kinds of rocks in different places? Mama read the sign. "What causes erosion?" Buddy looked at the pictures. "Rain? Snow?" "That's right," said Mama. "Snow and ice can get into cracks in rocks and split them." "Rivers, waterfalls, waves," said Buddy. "Hey, I think those are all water." "I think you are very smart," said Mama. "Moving water wears down rocks." Buddy kept looking. "Wind?" Mama explained. "Wind causes waves that make rocks tumble on the shores of lakes and oceans. Tumbling wears down rocks. Strong winds can also blow sand at rocks and wear them away." "Sun?" asked Buddy. "The sun heats rocks during the day. The rocks cool off at night. Heating and cooling makes rocks break apart," said Mama. "Roots?" "Plants and tree roots can split rocks too," said Mama. "Wow," said Buddy. "I thought rocks lasted forever." Then they followed the Blue Diamond Trail to stop number 3. At rock stop 3, they were greeted, not graded, by one of the Rock Ridge Rangers. "Hello, welcome to rock stop 3. I'm Roxy," she said. "Hi, I'm Buddy." "Well, Buddy," said Roxy, "I've got some wonderful rocks to show you, and we're going to learn how rocks are formed." Roxy took 3 rocks out of her rock box. She handed one to Buddy. "I see layers," said Buddy. "That's a sedimentary rock," said Roxy. "It's made from sediment." "Sediment," said Buddy. "What's that?" "Sediment is teeny tiny particles of rock, clay, mud, and sand. Sedimentary rocks are made from layers and layers of sediment that were pressed and hardened," said Roxy. "Over time, the sediment became hard as a rock," said Buddy. "Here's another sedimentary rock," said Roxy. "It's crumbly," said Buddy. "Some rocks are softer than others," said Roxy. "This rock is sandstone." "Roxy?" "Yes, Buddy." "What did Sandy the stone like to sit in?" "What?" "A rocking chair." "Good one, Buddy," said Roxy. "I bet you know what this is." "Chalk," said Buddy. Chalk is sedimentary rock too, said Roxy. It's limestone. Roxy reached into the rock box again. A blackboard, said Buddy. It's slate, said Roxy. Slate is one kind of metamorphic rock. Metamorphic, said Buddy. Metamorphic rocks are rocks that changed. This one was once mudstone, stone made from mud, and over time it changed into slate. Buddy thought for a minute. Rocks can change? Yes, said Roxy. Deep inside the earth, squeezing and heat can change rocks. Heat and pressure. Roxy took more rocks out of the rock box. These are igneous rocks. Can we call them Iggy for short? Asked Buddy. Roxy handed one to Buddy. Sure, Iggy rocks are formed in the heat way, way, way down deep inside the earth. It is so hot that rocks melt. Rocks can melt? Asked Buddy. Yes, said Roxy, and flow like a hot rock river. Can you see where melted rock flowed and filled in the cracks and then cooled? Yes, said Buddy. Next, Roxy pulled a plastic container and a canteen out of the rock box. Buddy poured water into the container. Pour this rock in the water, said Roxy. I'm sorry, put the rock in the water. I think I know what's going to happen. It floats. How can a rock float? Asked Buddy. Roxy explained. This igneous rock came from a volcano. It's filled with bubbles. It's light enough to float. Wow, said Buddy, and that kind is pumice. Roxy gave Buddy a sticker. He stuck it to his shirt. I'm a rock star. They put the rocks back into the rock box. Buddy and Mama said goodbye to Roxy. Then they followed the Blue Diamond Trail till they came to rock stop 4. There were lots of rocks set out on a red table. This one's called the rock pile. Buddy sorted them. Line designs, shapes, bumpy rocks, smooth rocks. The smooth rocks look like eggs, said Buddy. They were tumbled by ocean waves and smoothed by sand and pebbles rubbing against them, said Mama. Buddy counted the smooth ones. Can you count? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 smooth rocks. Next, Buddy arranged the rocks with line designs one way and then another. Mama, what kind of candy did the pebble like to eat for dessert? What? Rock candy, Mama chuckled. She looked at her watch. Dessert? We better get moving. It's almost time for dinner. Buddy put the rocks back in a pile. Then they followed the Blue Diamond Trail. A little house, said Buddy. And this one is called Building with Rocks. Where do you see rocks? Asked Mama. The chimney, the stone wall. Where do you see rocks? Asked Buddy. I see a slate rock roof and bricks made out of clay, said Mama, and I'm sitting on a rock bench. I see a bird bath made out of rocks, said Buddy, and a rock frog. It's time to go home, my young petrologist, said Mama. Here it says, take a rock walk where you live. What rocks do you see? What's a petrologist? Asked Buddy. Someone who has a pet? No, someone like you who likes to learn about rocks, said Mama. They read the last 2 signs. Then Buddy said, Mama? Yes, Bud. How did the boulder get to the moon? How? On a rocket. Did you know a meteorite is a rock from outer space? Thank you for visiting today, the Rock Ridge Rangers. And then on the back here it says you can start a rock collection. Collect small rocks that you like, wash the rocks in water and let them dry. And you can make rock magnets by using magnet tape from a craft store and putting it on the back of rocks. And here's a bunch of rock sayings, rocky names in places, make up a rock joke, and build a rock trail marker. And that is the end of Rocks, Rocks, Rocks. I hope you guys enjoyed. Bye, Labradors.